that 3-5-2 under Nate Norman. This is, well, actually, what sticks out to you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously all the headlines are for the attacking duo, but at the back, too, they've been really, really solid, and it starts with their goalkeeper.
And for Wake Forest, two great goalkeepers, too, I may add, and then Amaral has been superb as well.
Yeah, she's outstanding. Her shot stopping is unbelievable. Still working things out in possession, especially, you know, when they have to be forced out wide quickly, as we saw in their last game. But, I mean, she's just an outstanding goalkeeper.
As Coach DeLuz looking on, getting a win against Pitt. May not been as pretty as he wanted, but it was a win. And quick turnaround to play the #1 team in the country. Coach DeLuz is someone that actually head coach Nate Norman looks up to, just how smart he is and how he thinks the game, which we have witnessed in our time covering Wake Forest. The 14th meeting all time between these two teams. They did not play last season. They did play in 2023. Oh, that's clever. Wake Forest really showing some fight here. Good to see Brooke Miller back too, Kyle. It was very scary how she went down in the match against Pitt.
Yeah, just 3 days ago. And, you know, it didn't seem like much when you watched it happen. There didn't seem to be anything in it. But then, you know, it certainly looked like she was in a ton of pain and had it iced up on a chair. So great to see her back on the field.
Oh, feisty start for a feisty team like Wake Forest. I'll get a corner kick in the early doors of this one. A short option showing 2 and back to Scythe. Scythe sends that one low on the ground, kind of ping pongs. Gets right back to Scythe. Scythe now been able to send a ball across. Oh, how close was that? And what brilliant goalkeeping too by Kasika. Pardon me.
Great start by Wake Forest, and now they'll have to be cognizant of Notre Dame possession. The Irish finally able to hold the ball here after the first 2 minutes that Wake Forest controlled.
Dempsey Brown and Carly Wilson both trying to come to on that ball. Now Notre Dame trying to orchestrate an attack as they move into the midfield.
I'm really interested to see how this 4-4-2 works out for Wake Forest. It's not a formation that we've seen much this year. It's probably more of a 4-2-4, and that's how you get players high up the field for chances like this. Really good cross by Scythe.
That is a gorgeous ball. Little bend at the end too. Throw in for Notre Dame. Last 5 games for Notre Dame, 20 goals for, just 5 goals against. Using the long throw, Engle interjecting, trying to knock that one. And it's off the Wake Forest defender. Our officials, Amin Hadzik, Eric Usher, and Josiah Parker. It's the Irish's turn to get into the attacking third. Not much of a test for Amaral, just off the toe of Matriano. Churn by Matriano, thinking about this switch, playing back to the support to Mills. Good through ball, but Amaral she was looking at that like a safety, right? She saw that being played, and then spitting out was Engle.
Yeah,
but Amaral quickly jumped off.
If that ball has a little less weight to it, that is a devastating through feed for Engle. I mean, just the combinations and connections that this Notre Dame attack has is really impressive.
Toronto trying to thread, and Dempsey Brown read it, trying to find Engle. The Deacs in the midfield. Dempsey Brown so calm and collected. Here's Brooke Miller. Thank goodness she's okay and looking like her old self. Maxwell. Top freshman roted by Top Drawer Soccer. Following kind of in the footsteps of Izzy Engle for Notre Dame. There's Engle right there stepping to. Not a lot to work with as Izzy Engle immediately surrounded by 4 Wake Forest defenders. Chukwu, number 7, right beside her.
You expect Notre Dame to hold a lot of possession today, so it will be interesting to see how Wake Forest attacks their build-up.
Klinke, that was a smart move. She slowly but steadily moved down on that left flank. And kind of maybe even got forgot about, but she was able to kind of make that run. Almost worked out. It is a throw-in for Notre Dame. Natalia going to send that one out of here. She had a golazo on Thursday.
Yeah, straight off the training ground. Really well worked.
Yeah, Coach Deleuze said, flag stays down. Here's Wrestler. Wrestler, actually a good idea trying to find Flanagan there. Wrestler getting free. Notre Dame a little bit shell-shocked. There's a switch. Miller. Here's Maxwell. Going 1v1 with Calceda. Last home game regular season for Wake Forest. They'll head on to Florida State next Thursday for the final regular season game. We'll see if they can get in to the ACC tournament. I think they'll be fine getting into the NCAA tournament. There's Coach Deleuze looking on. Coach Deleuze was wearing sweatshirt when it was 75 degrees. Now he's got short sleeves and I'm freezing. Oh, like this looks very promising. Oh, just a tad. That's where you want to just to take a little bit weight off that. And man, oh man, could that have turned to be a dreamy start for Wake Forest.
I think if you're Coach Deleuze, you want Allie Flanagan to be a little more selfish in that moment. Maybe take a touch to the inside and have a shot yourself.
Engle putting on the burners. Miller arriving. You know, Engle, it will be interesting how Wake Forest can address Izzy Engle. And obviously, the numbers speak for itself, but now her first match as a Notre Dame Fighting Irish, she was shut out. She only played like 40 minutes, had 1 shot. Well, you know what she did? The next game, she went off. And matter of fact, the next 5 games, her stat line, you ready, Kyle? 9 goals, 1 assist, 2 game winners. Yeah. After being shut out her first game as a Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
And it's just continued. I mean, there's no stopping.
Oh, good through ball. Maxwell able to turn on it. Man, this offense really is moving into that final phase, and they are just about a half an inch from putting that final ball into the back of the net, Kyle.
What a cross
Yes.
from Maxwell with her body. She's facing basically the end line and somehow contorts her body to get enough power on the ball.
Clinky. The Deacs really blanketing well Engle to this point, at least. I'll try to go to that corner and have Clinky run on. Miller immediately.
Take a look at this cross. I mean, Maxwell's facing the corner flag and somehow manages to whip her entire body around and smack it with enough power to get it in a dangerous position, power and precision, to put it in a good spot. That's an excellent cross.
Good. Almost a turn worked out for Chukwu. Flanagan. Eyeing a fellow freshman. Maxwell. There's Wilson, good step. Dempsey Brown playing back to the support to Miller. Maybe not exactly how they had it dialed up, but nonetheless, it doesn't equal into a 1v1 attack for Notre Dame against Wake Forest. It will be a throw-in for the Fighting Irish. Very brisk autumn afternoon here in Winston-Salem. Clinky. Clinky with great feet work, and then Brooke Miller as well as Maxwell working well and supporting each other. That is great chemistry, and Brooke Miller goes down. That was Joseph. A little shove there.
Yeah, not very smart from Lily Joseph there, because she comes in to help. She notices that Clinky's, needing help trying to play this 1-on-2, and she's got Wake Forest hemmed in, and then just comes in and commits a silly foul.
Engle providing the press here. Scythe to try to pin the Deacs back. See Engle running around. See if they can get a turnover. A quick clearance ball sent up. Good step by Weeman. Weeman who gets a start this afternoon. Chukwu.
What a
Slap tackle from Dempsey
Oh!
Brown, and I'm going to call a foul on Dempsey Brown, although Kyle thinks that was from the side.
Boy, I thought she got the ball first. And I mean, you got to show her a yellow card if you're going to make that or you're going to make that call. But we'll see a replay. I was certain she got the ball first there.
I was too. Let's see.
Take a look at this. She comes in through the side. Yeah, she's late.
Yeah,
She's very late. That's definitely a yellow card. So, good job by the referee to see that. He had a much better angle too, because he's facing it head on.
Yeah.
And you know what? In fairness, Dempsey didn't argue it too much.
Yeah.
So usually that's a pretty good indication.
That's definitely late. The first initial, our first initial sight of it, it did look like she had got the ball from the side, but then replay completely was the opposite. As Joseph will spray this one up ahead for Clinky. Clinky. And just one hop inside the 6, picked up by Amaral. A lot of Deacon fans in attendance. They want to urge this Wake Forest team to come up with another upset as the #1 team. They did it last season. They want to do it this season. Engle trying to cut that one back to the right. And Notre Dame's only blemish, if you want to call it a blemish, was that draw against Arkansas, the second match of the season that ended in 2-2 tie. But since then, passing with flying colors. Here's Codd. A lot of praise from Nate Norman about Codd. We spoke to him yesterday.
Yeah, no question about it. And I think what was telling there when he was talking about Charlie Codd was the question that we asked. You know, sometimes we'll ask about particular players, right? Tell me about this player, tell me about that player. But there was an open-ended question, right? Like, hey, who's impressed you the most this year, or who's someone that surprised you, or is maybe ahead of schedule, whatever. Just to, you know, let's hear what you've got. And Charlie Codd was the player that he highlighted. So on an open-ended question like that, impressive.
Wrestler. Oh, searching. She had her eye fixated on that side net on the far post.
I mean, this is just a wide open chance. Maxwell cuts through two defenders and lays it off perfectly for Wrestler. That's got to be on target.
Wrestler has played really, really well so far in this contest. Her touch is there. Her vision is there. She has no fear at all either. Remember we talked about with the match on Thursday, that's something that Wake Forest needs just to kind of get over that hump, be more aggressive in that attack.
For sure. Aggression is key, but there's also an execution side of things as well. And, you know, that's especially against such a quality opponent, taking those opportunities is massive.
Yeah, but you're getting on the dance floor. And that means a lot. Touches in the box. I mean, just the slight degree of a difficult, just slight miss on maybe a half an inch and connecting as Coach to lose. Those new sunglasses. Got his 329th win on Thursday as a Wake Forest head coach. Man, how huge 330 would be in this afternoon. Yeah, matter of fact, our producer no, he completely fixed that one. It said, yeah, if you get two games that are very, I guess, high echelon. You have Florida State coming up next after this one. So if you get one of those wins, that'd be pretty big.
Yeah, they need points wherever they can get them. I mean, it's just a bitter fight for those last places in the ACC tournament. It's probably a mountain a bit too steep to climb, but even so, you know, making a statement like this would really be something really positive going into the NCAA tournament.
Props to our producer, Everett Hutto. Scythe trying to turn, immediately taken away. Engle, that is not what you want to see. A lot of space, cutting that back. How did she keep that right at her foot? What a cutback. Delivers the strike and into the back of the net. And Engle, something she has done numerous times in just her second year as a Fighting Irish. Will get on the board, and Notre Dame is on the board.
Brilliant individual skill here from Engle, but this is a real good team goal. That's just a strong cutback and a powerful finish. The feed, though, is really important because it drew Sierra Scythe forward, and she wasn't able to help defend 2-on-1. A really good assist. I mean, it's just high-quality attacking play from the nation's best attacking team.
36 goals, Kyle. Second year. And 55 straight matches they've unbeaten. That last loss at Carolina in 2-1 overtime. And then still Wake Forest fighting and still getting touches in the box.
Yeah, now what's tough for Wake Forest is when you concede a goal early in the game like this, now you're fighting from behind against a good team. You've got to open yourself up. You have to take more chances. Maybe not in the first half. You know, the game's still within striking distance, but as it goes on, now you're going to have to open yourself up even more.
And they keep doing this. Yeah. Maybe just shoot her face in tunnel vision because there was an option to the left.
Alex Wood was wide open to the left. It would have taken a difficult feed, kind of cutting the ball across her body, but that was the chance. A shot from distance there against a really high-quality goalkeeper is always low percentage. When the defense is broken like that in a transitional play, you've got to make use of it. They're always going to step to the ball.
You're exactly right. Scythe, and that one taken away. And Joseph trying to play that one up ahead. Deacs, though, 23rd in the RPI. That's a good spot to make the national tournament. Wrestler. A little bit surprised. Mills wondering why the side judge didn't call foul. Deacs keep fighting, though.
Yeah, it did look like there was a bit of a shoulder check there, but the referee's happy to let him play, you know, when they're battling for the ball in the touchline.
Chukwu trying to get it over the top of Dempsey Brown. Not so lucky. Flanagan. Wood kind of moving there in that half space. Wilson. Brown. Miller is in a nice pocket of space over here to the right. She'll have to return. Now Notre Dame methodically moving into that final phase. Good tackle by Scythe.
I don't know how intentional that was. She sort of just fell on her face.
And came right back up with it.
Yeah, the ball just sort of stuck at her feet. She'll take it for sure.
Kyle, this pressure by Wake Forest, though, do you think Notre Dame's a little surprised by this? They seemed a little bit rattled.
I don't know if they're surprised by it. I think they'd be honestly okay with a transitional game. We saw what they can do with Izzy Engle on the end of the transitional attack. But it certainly has been a more 50-50 game than maybe we expected because of this sort of broken style of play.
It's very difficult to open up Notre Dame, but Wake Forest has done a good job kind of spreading them out. They've been able to get some good looks. Unfortunately, down 1-0. There's a one touch by Wrestlers. Miller ushers that one to Weeman. Both teams with 2 shots. Of course, Engle with a goal.
I tell you what, the passing by Wake Forest has been really on point.
Absolutely.
They're cutting the ball
Miller,
all throughout.
Good ball. Just need one more body right in there. He had Wood, but that was pretty much it. Wood was sandwiched between 2 defenders. Dempsey Brown into space, sliding it on the deck. Wrestler. They're going to play her down at, it looks like it's Engle.
Yeah, and she looks like she's in a good bit of pain here with her left ankle. I think she's pointing to where she got stepped on.
She was named to the 2025 CONCACAF U.S. Women's U20 Championship roster. I mean, you almost have to double check the numbers to see if that is accurate about how many goals she's had in 2 years.
And this is a familiar sight for us, Ty, because we just saw Brooke Miller go through this 3 days ago where she got stepped on. And, you know, you're like, okay, it's, you know, it hurts, but, you know, that's one that'll fade. And then it looked rough. And thankfully, she was able to come back from it. And now if that's indeed what happened here, it's just so painful because those spikes really can hurt. And, you know, the worry is for those little bones in your foot.
Yes.
So,
yes.
They and regardless, though, it's certainly one that's painful nonetheless.
They immediately swell up like a balloon. Hopefully that is what happened. She is such a spectacular
going for this ball. And it almost looks like she steps on Sight's foot. It's hard to tell exactly what happens there. It's quick, but whatever it is, she was pointing to the top of her foot.
I just do not like to see that.
No.
Well, wishes to Izzy so she can get back on the pitch. Such a remarkable player. Hopefully, as we mentioned, that it was just a step on. And
yeah, she got there just like a half second later than Sierra Scythe and either took a spike to the foot or something. It was hard to tell in that shot. Certainly looks like she's in a good deal of pain. Hopefully it subsides. You know, and I'm certain that the Wake Forest players will hope that as well.
Yep.
And Brooke will say, hey, I've been there, and it gets better. So hopefully she'll be able to shake it off at some point, either today or in the near future. This is Annabelle Chukwu's attack now. We said in the open, a special player in her own right.
Yeah, not like she's slacking on that department at all.
No, I mean a player who has youth experience with the Canada national team, which is one of the best teams in the world.
What were the numbers she had that you said that was
she
impressive?
broke Christine Sinclair's record. Now, this is Christine Sinclair, who is the leading scorer in international football history, men's or women's. She has over 200 international goals. She broke Christine Sinclair's record for most goals in a single youth international tournament at the 2024 U20 World Cup. That is some company to be in.
And then you add her with Engle in that same freshman class that had 19 goals last season, sitting with 17 now. Hopefully Engle will be back.
Sorry, I misspoke. Not over 200 international goals. It's just a paltry 190.
Oh, sorry. Get your stuff together.
And that's your trivia question, because everybody thinks Cristiano Ronaldo is the leading scorer in international history. Well, that's for men. Christine Sinclair's got him beat by a good margin.
Well, Notre Dame having to work without Izzy Engle, but bring in Hodson. Miller trying to look for somebody to come to. Just teammates kind of just watching her. Brown, plenty of space to turn and work. Wood cannot turn. That ball is last touched by Wood, even though Wood does not agree. A sub coming in for Notre Dame.
24, Grace Restovich.
Codd going out and Restovich coming in. There's Nate Norman and his stellar time at Notre Dame. Played at Notre Dame and then just doing wonders. Hey, you remember back in, was it 2020? They went 6-7. And maybe you think, maybe did they get the right hire? And then right after that, 14-6, 17-3, 12-4, 14-4, 13-0-1 this year. Sammy Weeman able to get out of that corner. Joseph.
I really like that the referees are letting the teams play here today, because there have been some 50-50 calls where you see some players go down, and it certainly looks like there may be a shove or something in it. But
Notre Dame still driving now inside the box, and the flag goes up.
yeah, I thought they might have flagged for offside on the first play, kept the flag down, and then it was pretty clear on that second one.
Restovich from St. Louis, Missouri.
Good step. Very good step. That was entirely intentional, I believe, by Di Natale.
Restovich also named to the 2025 CONCACAF U.S. Women's U20 Championships roster. And she comes off the bench for Notre Dame. Part of that freshman class last season.
Pretty good class.
Yes. Calzada. And the service ball immediately off the line and claimed by Amaral.
Notre Dame has done very well to keep a lid on Wake Forest's attack over the last 10 or 15 minutes. The Deacs have done, feels like a much better job than we've seen in past weeks of building from the back. But they haven't been able to do much with it once they reach the midway line, because they work so hard against this Notre Dame press just to get it to the midway line that the attacks have sort of run out of gas by that point.
They've been able to open up Notre Dame. Now, of course, last time Wake Forest did open up Notre Dame, Wood was wide open, and Flanagan had that shooter face and just took one. But I'll look at the tape and say, I just slid it over to the left to Wood. But still, like you said in that counter, the defense is a little rattled by it. Over the top, Chukwu. A little too early on that one.
Yeah, wow. I thought she held it in time. Great run. That's worked twice now for Notre Dame in the last 2 or 3 minutes, is that little back shoulder sneaky run with the chip over the top feeding the ball.
11, Tessa Knapp.
Tessa Knapp coming in. Well, she's just one of the very few freshmen this season. Di Natale. Good triangle passing using that left flank, and off and running is Flanagan. Pinching in is Maxwell, calling for it, looking for the through ball. Flanagan gets away. Wrestler trying to turn quickly and send it to Wood. Arriving, Scythe. Scythe looking it up for enough room for the service ball. Good ball, and just shy of the head of Flanagan. As Brooke Miller coming in. Outstanding delivery again by Scythe. Maxwell knew that she was pretty much not going to get anything through, and so immediately knocked it off the defender, gets the corner kick. Smart move.
Best Wake Forest spell of attacking pressure since that Allie Flanagan shot from distance. See if they can profit here.
The corner. Another good ball. Nobody really got up on the ladder except for a keeper.
Yeah, that delivery has to be either further or a little far from net. It was sort of right in the goalkeeper's breadbasket there. Dangerous ball for sure if the keeper misses it. It's a good ball because you're making the keeper work. But if you're getting picky about it, it should be a little further.
Flag stays down and trying to chip over the keeper. Wake Forest dodged one. Although the fans think that flag should have been up.
No, that was a great delivery. Definitely held her run. Yeah, she's being played onside by Sierra Scythe on the far side, and that is just a rash shot because that was a big chance there for Notre Dame.
Hodson.
Number 9, Elliana Ramirez.
Wake Forest bringing in some subs. Bringing in Hannah Johnson. Alex Wood will go out.
Yeah, these Wake Forest forwards have run themselves ragged. Really great shift through the first half. They have been excellent so far against the #1 team in the country. No goal, but a really good shift. We'll see what these substitutes can do now.
Notre Dame with 3 shots. Wake Forest still just with 2. But the amount of goals that Notre Dame has put up this season at this point right here with just under 13 to go in the first half, and Wake Forest's defense holding Notre Dame to just 2 to 3 shots. Of course, a goal by Engle. Quick restart on the throw-in. Restovich moving up for Chukwu. Flanagan trying to find it. He'll turn over her right shoulder and sees it, and then latches onto it and sends the ball just in the center part of the 18, but no one really there to run on besides Hannah Johnson. Scythe having to be creative and aggressive. Makes a switch to Brooke Miller as Miller scanning. There's Maxwell.
It's really good defending. Really good defending by Notre Dame. Glenke has really done well. Maxwell's been prolific today, but that is strong. Just picking Maxwell's pocket and then earning the foul.
I have been very impressed with Wake Forest, though. Being able to knock the ball around, connect passes. Miller, that ball was diving. Hannah Johnson with the right spot. Half volley followed up. Bang! We are knotted up at 1. Man! Ramirez timing it. Getting the deflection and sending it into the back of the net. The Deacs have gone now eye to eye with the #1 team.
They sure have, and they have deserved this goal for sure. The substitutes coming on and doing the job after a great shift by the starters. How about that rip from Carly Wilson, forces the save, and then the follow-up from Ramirez, who is unmarked at the back post. That is just great team play by Wake Forest. That's a great effort. We're taking a look at this goal just to see if Ramirez remained onside. It would be harsh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's problematic for Wake Forest here by this replay. Now, it's hard to see the fullback behind her, so I don't know if you're able to overturn this, but I could see this being chalked off. This is harsh, but I could see this being offside. That is really, really close. Wow.
It's going to stay.
Good goal. I think Notre Dame will feel that that is unfortunate because it does look like Ramirez is just leaning offside, but I don't see quite enough evidence to overturn this because Ramirez is covering up the fullback, and you can't see the fullback's feet, which are the important part. Her arms do not count. Neither player's arms count because you can't play the ball with your arms. You need to know where the feet are, and because we can't see the fullback's feet, there's not enough evidence there to overturn it. I do think you probably would say that Ramirez was probably offside, but probably is not enough to overturn a call like that.
How about that little insert into this script? We talked about the two freshmen with Flanagan and Maxwell, and it's Ramirez, the freshman from Dallas, Texas, coming up with a goal, but now Notre Dame trying to find a rebuttal. It's almost as if Ramirez says, hey, what about me?
Grace Restovich there with a really, really vicious hit from a tight angle. This Notre Dame team has been first to every loose ball in the attacking third. They are so dangerous.
I'll tell you what, Notre Dame, I don't think they overlooked Wake Forest, but they are a little bit shocked too about how feisty Wake Forest is, and now they see this game tied at 1-1.
Both teams have been very good, Ty. This is a high-quality game so far.
You're worried about that short week, too. Of course, Notre Dame played in Blacksburg. Good turn by Flanagan, muscling up.
Flanagan did just enough to get the foul there. Calzada defended really well on that turn. That little like feint from Flanagan was really good, and Calzada defended it so well and then just left her arm out a little bit too long for the referee to let play continue. He wanted to let that play continue, just not able to.
Scythe into the box just over the head of Hannah Johnson. Only Carly Wilson with that attempt on the half volley. And she doesn't, have that courage to do it. Wake Forest is not knotted up. Can she do something here? Wilson. Then to get a piece of a Notre Dame defender. That one. Offside call. Joseph. Well, she stopped, pulled that one back. It was Restovich. Restovich actually in that class last season, Kyle, was the #1 ranked recruit. A turn in go by Hodson. And not on target.
Into the game for Notre Dame, number 17, Riley DiMartino.
Hodson, of course, part of that 13-member freshman class, the most ever in Notre Dame history.
You got Izzy Engle, who had came off earlier in this half with what looked like an injury, with her feet up on the chair. To talk about that in just a second.
It's up for Maxwell to go get it. Maxwell turning. Flanagan was there. Here's Ramirez. Scythe. Had to take it away. And taken right back away. Flanagan coming to help. 1-1 our score, 7.5 to go in the first half. Engle got the first goal of this contest.
I see Engle on the touchline. She's got her feet up on a chair with ice on it. It's the exact same thing we saw from Brooke Miller a few days ago. So hopefully that means that even if she can't come back into the game today, that she'll be all right, and it's just a little bit of blunt force trauma. See that real big ice pack on the foot. I'm sure that's in a lot of pain right now, getting stepped on. So hopefully she's okay. The question now for Notre Dame will be, hopefully the x-ray comes back clean, but if that's okay, then she'll be good to go, hopefully, for the future.
Miller able to get a little bit of that forehead on it. And Weeman and Chukwu. Surprised she's not going to get a card.
No, there's nothing in that. I think the fan reaction is a little more than anything, but she wanted a foul here, right? With jockeying for the ball with Brooke Miller. That's not a foul. The referee hasn't called that all first half, and then so she's going to get a little physical here, and you can see the shove in the back. The referee's going to call that all day.
Restovich Burst coming in for Maxwell. Faircloth coming in. Lifted in the box and snatched and squeezed by Amaral.
Fans are getting up in arms about fouling, and that's a yellow card there for Chukwu for just persistent fouling.
You know who's the first one up and screaming? It's Bednard for the men's teams.
Goalkeeper
The
knows.
goalkeeper, yeah.
What a game he had recently. Yeah. And that's always going to go to the goalkeeper because their body is on the line there. It's a dangerous position to be in as a keeper going up like that. So there's the protection.
Amaral is not scared of contact.
No.
She's.
This whole Wake Forest team has been physical today. There's no question about it. That's been an intention from Tony DeLuse's team. It's not been, against the rules of play, but they've definitely gone toe-to-toe with Notre Dame from a physical standpoint, and it's worked for the most part. They're frustrating this Notre Dame team.
Trying to go down the seam. Restovich trying to move to the left for Knop, but no such luck. Notre Dame kind of telling the crew to settle down. Wake Forest wants to keep with this fight. Faircloth comes in now, along with Burst. And you just got the feeling going to the training ground here at Wake Forest that it just seems a little bit frustrated. They seem like they made some noise in the beginning of the season, Kyle. Then they had some not so great results. And kind of the people, the talking heads said, oh, now they're what we thought they were. And so this is a little bit incentive for Wake Forest to say, no, we're better than what you think we are. Sent out on the left side. Rushing on. Well, delivered in the box. Good step. Burst. Can't quite get there. See the immediately looking Restovich before she even put her foot on the ball. Ramirez. Miller. That one cannot stay in bounds.
Yeah, Notre Dame's gotten Tessa Knapp free down the left flank a number of times over the last few possessions. So Brooke Miller and Chloe Burst will have to be aware of that. And Notre Dame's going to make a change here to bring Chukwu out for the end of the half after she got her yellow card. Wiki comes in.
Wiki. MC Brown going back to try to see if she can wrestle that ball away. Does deflect off of Notre Dame player. Now just look up. It's 3 minutes remaining in this first half, and it has been end-to-end exciting and intense. Clinky. Restovich playing it back to Matrino. And Clinky. A little bend to that ball. There she is, Amaral. She could be a safety and football receiver. I mean, she reads it very well.
She does, and I'll be honest, Ty, I thought she had come out just a little late. I wasn't sure she was going to get there.
Well, she proved you wrong.
Certainly.
Right. I'm not going to lie, Kyle. I was a little bit to hold my breath, too. Shoved there. 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Both teams with 5 shots apiece. Both teams with a goal.
Notre Dame's starting to find a little joy on the long ball.
Yes.
Because they're pressing it. And even when Wake Forest wins the initial one, Notre Dame's there to grab the second follow-up.
pickup coming for Notre Dame.
About a minute and 20 seconds remaining. Notre Dame will get
Taking
a
a
corner here.
Laney Matriano.
Drives that ball, and then on right outside of the 18, trying to keep it underneath. Could get past all those legs there and sent right back into the box for Notre Dame. Flicked on. That's not going to be much of a test, even though the flag is up. Not going to be a test much for Amaral. Good step. Adina Talent. Here's burst. Ramirez into the center pocket for Johnson. Johnson buying enough time to find Burst. Burst with a left foot, just sitting that one up, hoping that Ramirez could get free. Does not occur, and Wake Forest looking right in the eye of the #1 team in the country, and they are locked. 1-1. Shot overlooked was Virginia. Saw them in a scrimmage here this past summer, and they looked really, really good. And that was in the beginning of August. I know they did fall, but still a very, very good team. That is a contender to hoist the cup as well. Could we see another 4 ACC teams in the College Cup in December? 3 are in the top country, so, you know, Kyle wouldn't be surprised.
No, not at all.
We have 45 minutes of fight left. We basically hit the reset button. Rather than 0-0, it's 1-1. Wake Forest in all white. Notre Dame and their navy blue tops and navy blue shorts. Engle with that ice on her foot. We wish her the best. Hopefully she'll get back. College soccer needs her on the pitch. As Flanagan couldn't corral that one. Is Scythe. Only a foot race that she will challenge, and goes the way of Codd. Codd. There's 4 defenders, and there's really nobody really helping. Chukwu's on the left side. Now quickly Notre Dame getting some numbers down here. Here's Roy. Roy lobbing that one up. Oh my heavens.
Yeah, well, that's
Amaral.
the second time that that's happened to Amaral. These Notre Dame players are trying to challenge balls in the air with the goalkeeper and not allow the goalkeeper to bully them off the ball. But sometimes you have to know when you've been beat in the air, because the goalkeeper's going to get that protection, and there's a reason why. And that is just a little bit aggressive.
And Kyle, you agree with this. Like, you look at the numbers, and I don't think that tells the whole story of how great Amaral is. You look at, she's got 1 save, she allows 1 goal. But that doesn't really tell how big she has been a part of this defense. Coming off the line, claiming it, not scared of any contact. That is contagious to the rest of her team. You have a keeper like that, whether it's in the men's game or in the women's game. You have a keeper like that, that just fuels your fire. You feel like you are untouchable.
Yeah, and she's commanded her box extremely well. If you can take charge of that 6-yard area and even the 18-yard box, you're going to have success as a goalkeeper, and that's not going to show up in the stat sheet.
I'll tell you what, they've had some really good goalkeepers here at Wake Forest in my years of covering them. And I could definitely go on a limb and say this is probably the best I've seen in old gold and black. I'll do a hot take. And Wake Forest has had some really, really, really good ones.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw one last year, right?
Yep. That was Amaral.
That's right.
She just continued it. I mean, she redshirt sophomore. It's almost that they had kind of kind of waited for that time to birth her onto the scene, and then she was rearing to go, right?
Yep. And we heard Coach DeLuz in Amaral's freshman year say, just wait till you get a look at the new goalkeeper I got.
Yeah, and look at the goalie they brought in this year is where now? She's not even here.
Right.
She's with the U.S. team. And the coaching staff has done such a great job, too. Notre Dame, though, they're tired of toying around. They led 1-0 and saw that evaporate.
A lot of times, Ty, if you have a game that's back and forth like this, you can see the team that started the first half well also start the second half well, because a lot of times tactically that's just the way that things play out. Wake Forest started the first half extremely well, and they are under a ton of pressure here to start the second half. Wow, it's a great through ball.
And this turn, and tough angle though, but still fighting and still keeping with it.
Great defending by Di Natale, because that was a huge opportunity.
And a tap over with the fingertip by Amaral, the return fire. I'm gonna be honest. Well, Amaral was right there to pick up the grounder. I thought that was a Notre Dame player because of the well, what is this Notre Dame player doing?
Great little touch there by Amaral. She has to get herself back to her feet and then snatches it up.
She does kind of blend in though, doesn't she?
Yeah, it does sort of clash a little bit with the Navy. Or not clash, but blend in.
Yeah. Spit over here to Roy. Roy, left foot, sends that one into the box, looking for Chukwu. Louisville did get 1 goal against Notre Dame. Florida State got 2. North Carolina was able to work up 3 goals against this Notre Dame team. And pretty much you see nothing but zeros when Notre Dame plays and their opponent. Notre Dame poaching, sending one. Oh, ripped again. Spreading, reaching out. And Amaral showing the viewers why she's one of the best in the biz.
That is just a sensational catch. She could have easily tried to tip that away out for a corner, manages to keep it in her grasp. But I tell you what, Ty, this Notre Dame team is starting to turn the screw. And Wake Forest has got to get a hold of possession if they want to avoid conceding here.
They gotta get that feistiness back. Have to need the help of Flanagan. Flanagan bodying up with Logan. Sending it down the touchline to Roy. Is Roy sending that one high in the air? Arcing ball, not any problems for Amaral. And sometimes you get this sense that Wake Forest kind of sits back, waits, and then waits for its right time to kind of explode. And that storm starts to churn, right?
Yeah, we didn't see that in the first half, though. They were toe-to-toe with Notre Dame the entire time. There was no sitting back and waiting at all. So now if they're going to employ that strategy, sometimes it can be hard to flip the switch back on, right? So we'll see if they are able to sort of get a grip on the game again. Because if you're going to give up this kind of attacking volume to the #1 team in the country, even without Izzy Engle on the field, what a ball that is.
Just knocked up just a little too much there by Maxwell. Wood and Ressler. The space used by Roy. Roy ran the byline trying to get past Scythe. Diagonal ball cut out. That Weeman coming through. Wood Trying to do a spin move. Wrestler collides, and there's going to be a foul called on Wrestler.
Take a look at this shot here from a central area.
That's just great football.
Yeah. No shot, I
Yep.
should say, but the stretch by the defender.
It was read well, too. Here's a ball into the box, headed, still outside of the 6, hoping for a square pass and a shot on frame. No such luck for Notre Dame, but still well designed. Flanagan has some space, continues to move in, gets tripped up.
They're going to pull it back for a different foul earlier. He tried to play advantage, and Flanagan was pulled back.
You should be able to pick. We'd like that one.
Right, exactly. Basically winning 2 fouls with the same dribble.
Right, right. Oh, Miller laying that one down perfectly. Maxwell to the flag. Wrestler. And just a little bit too close to that byline, that service ball with Wrestler was sitting close to that near stick. Chukwu. Weeman backpedaling. Chukwu delivering a rocket of a shot, but stopped by Amaral.
And that is not a player that you want to allow any shooting space whatsoever. She just got inside of 2 defenders here, 1, 2, and you would think that on another day she might be able to deliver that one into the top corner.
You can't let her have that much space to roam.
No.
From Ottawa.
Especially not 1-on-2. Ty, how about this? A little more information on what we talked about before. You said that she had broken Christine Sinclair's record for the Canada Youth National Team. She debuted for the U15 team, and all the way up to U20, she has 28 career youth international goals. And this is back in 2024, so she may have more than that.
Right.
But
I tell you what, the crowd though here, feisty just as much as this Wake Forest team. They are getting behind this team, hoping for a little bit of finale here in 2025. And once again, Amaral reading it. Her soccer intelligence as a keeper is just off the charts. I may be just a broadcaster, but if I'm a GM and a professional team, I mean, she is standing out.
And she's had to work really hard today. She's had a lot to do. Notre Dame has ripped off 4 shots already in this half. Actually, make it 5. 5 shots already in this half. And plus all the moments that she's had to come out and claim crosses into the area and everything else. Notre Dame just pressing so high. They can smell blood in the water.
The center ref, it's offside. I think he had to make sure that.
Right, because I think the Notre Dame players thought that he was blowing the whistle for a foul there on the slide tackle. It was a clean slide tackle.
I love that though. It's offside.
Calm down.
Bringing this one back here. I guess originally going with the advantage, but bringing it back.
And that's really good refereeing, because the longer he let that play out, you could have maybe made the argument that Wake Forest would have won that foot race down the right side. The longer he let it play out, the less opportunity he has to bring it back for the foul. You only have so long. Deep effort there from Wrestler. She's not happy with herself after that. I think maybe there would have been a few more options to combine one or two more times, but we've seen her striking ability from distance.
And Zadian coming in for the first time this afternoon. And Natalia going out, getting a well-deserved rest. She almost is the poster player for this team. Just a player that didn't get that much playing time last season, right? Comes in and immediately makes an impact, becomes a leader, huge against, the back line that had a lot of question marks coming in. Where even Coach Toulouse had to get creative by making Brooke Miller turn into an outside back. But also Weeman, too.
Yep.
And Flanagan bearing down. And Flanagan not happy with that call.
I think that was the right call. Just a little late on that challenge.
With all the amount of talent and the stars that have come out of Notre Dame, you think about Corbin Albert, which I remember seeing her play and saying, wow, like this is a U.S. women's national starter. She's on the U.S. women's team. And then you bring in Engle. I mean, it's just year after year, Notre Dame bringing in talent after talent. And may I add, even with that success that Notre Dame has, with those stars on the chest, that's well played up ahead. Flanagan just a little late, pulling back was Mills.
Oh, that's unlucky for Wake Forest, and really good defending to kick that out of play off of Flanagan.
What I was saying was that, may I add that even with all those stars and intimidating as that is, the success that this team has had, for the head coach who we talked to yesterday, I accidentally hit his number prematurely and then immediately hung up because it was like 5 minutes before our call was scheduled. He immediately called back, and it was as if we just called one of our buddies and just having a nice conversation. And he was very complimentary of just having these games televised and what that means to the sport. I'm a big fan of the sport, obviously, and well known and well received, and a big fan of also Coach Toulouse. A good intervention by Miller. He was assistant coach at Covenant College in 2009. The assistant at Miami in 2010, and assistant coach at Western Michigan. And head coach at Western Michigan, goes to Liberty for 1 year, then assistant coach at Notre Dame, his alma mater, and then becomes a head coach. And that is tough to fill the shoes, right?
Yes.
The clock ticking down. It's at 28 minutes. There is not really bothered by the chill in the air. Of course, South Bend.
Yeah.
This is summer for them. Oh, what a rival by Dempsey Brown. Wow. That looked a little late.
He's going to stop it for the
Yeah,
injury.
that looked a little late. What do you think?
Yeah, I would have to see it again here. Strong 50-50 challenge.
But it looked like she got it, and then it was it was not intentional. No malice behind it, but late nonetheless. Let's see it again.
Take another look here. It's a loose ball. Dempsey definitely gets there first. I think that's a foul. There's no, and a yellow card too. It's late. Brown gets there first. It's so close. It's so tight. But you have to be. The key here is players must be responsible.
Yes.
For the outcome of a challenge and their own body position. Yes, it's bang bang, right? And it's hard to fault a player for being late in a bang bang challenge. But if you're in that 50-50 challenge to begin with, you are risking that you're going to get there late. Mm-hmm. And if you get there late, it's your responsibility.
Exactly
so
right.
I do think that that's a foul and should be a yellow card. I understand why the referee is trying to allow these plays, right? When players come together and it's just almost bang, bang, right? One after another. You want to encourage football to be played. But that's a harsh challenge. When you go in that hard, you have to win the ball. Because if you don't...
You know what you're risking.
Right, exactly.
Joseph can't quite turn on Wrestler. Play it over to Calzada. And here's Joseph. To the right to Roy. Roy off the back of Scythe. Scythe getting position. Knocking it away. A triangle passing to get out of Wake Forest defensive third. This game is so exciting. The athletic director has made his way. He sat down, got himself a hot dog, and wants to watch the rest of this one. A busy homecoming week. And Dempsey Brown taking that one away back. That's good to see, though. Brown back in action. Of course, Wake Forest right now is trying to lock the doors and weather the storm, but still the threat of working a counter. Zadian. Roy. Figure out Scythe back with a support to Calzada. Left foot immediately into the breadbasket of Amaral. Now if the Deacs can quickly push their numbers down the pitch. And if you figure they can come up with a second goal, that might just rattle this Notre Dame team. And it almost occurred there.
Just wide, Ty. Oh, man, what a counter. Chloe Burst just comes so close to stunning Notre Dame, who have been easily the better side in this second half. Goodness gracious. Up and over the defender. That is a high degree of difficulty shot and nearly made it happen.
How many times we've seen that in the game of soccer? That is a good through ball. Weeman coming. Tipped aside. Amaral collides. Kyle, your thoughts?
I think there were two opportunities for the referee to make a call, and I think they're tight. If you're going to make a game-changing call like that, it's got to be obvious, but he's going to stop and review this because I think there's a chance that the penalty is given after review. This looked really, really clumsy. I don't think you're going to give it for this because there's a little touch on the ball there, it looks like. That, though, is a whiff by Amaral. She got her foot stuck in the ground. The question here, Ty, is the Notre Dame player in control of the ball? And I don't think so. And I think that may save Wake Forest here because in order to give a foul and a penalty and or red card for Dogso, the player has to have control of the ball. And I think that is going to maybe save Wake Forest here. There's a number of boxes you need to check for a decision like this. Oh, the touch there is tight. Like that, you could argue that the Notre Dame player has control because of that touch, but she's falling down at the same time. This is a really close decision. I could see it going either way, and I think the referee saying no penalty on the field might just be it, because right now Wake Forest is shaking in their boots.
So even, Kyle, even with the touch that Notre Dame had, still consider that not with full control.
Yeah.
Because the ball's still moving direction.
Because she's falling over. No penalty, yeah. The call on the field, I think, saves Wake Forest here. And I can understand why Notre Dame is frustrated. Those two moments are it's tight, it's close, and this is a key game for both teams. I think in order to make a game-changing call like that, you take another look at it here. The Notre Dame player gets a touch on the ball there, but then falls into the goalkeeper. Hodson, it's so tight, it's so close. Amaral has to do better there. If you're the goalkeeper, you do not want to put your referee in a situation where you can make a call like that. But they're saved by the fact that the Hodson is falling over, barely gets a touch on the ball, doesn't really have control of it, and so it looks clunkier than maybe it really was.
You know what doesn't look clunky is this product that our team delivers every night, every day. I mean, I've said that, just getting chills about these angles that the crew back in the studio does. It's great work. We appreciate all your hard work.
Well, and it makes a difference in the game too, right? Those are the angles the referee has to look at.
Now going back to the the two camera games that we used to do here, to this, it's you can't help but smile.
Tight. This game, Ty, has been really difficult to referee. There have been a lot of tough calls, a lot of really 50-50 decisions, and I think he's done a pretty good job overall. There have been some decisions that maybe we would have changed, but it's been a difficult job.
Hannah Johnson has burst. This is, at least in this second half, kind of reminds me of the Duke match that Wake Forest won on the road. Wake Forest gladly said, okay, we're not going to get possession. We'll hang back, and once we get it, we're going to take effective measures to get up the field, work on counter, and deliver that final ball into the back of the net. And right now, sitting in a staring contest with Notre Dame, #1 in the country, winners of, or unbeaten in 14 straight matches. The Deacs, who pretty much got on the scene last season after defeating #2 Virginia on the road and then #1 Stanford within a couple days of each other. And the #1 team here and up against the ropes. Another foul called. Only one of 2 teams unbeaten in D1. Only tied to Arkansas. And that was the second match of the year. And Deacs have to be awfully careful not to have a mishap in their defending box there.
Yeah, they certainly do. That was a dangerous position. First defender got sucked underneath the ball, mistimed the jump, and let it go over their head.
Too far over. Will hit the roof of the goal.
Get the game for Wake Forest
will bring in Faircloth.
Sophie Faircloth.
It could be her last home match. And the story that she had, which you got to just give a happy tears when you see her on the pitch on how she fought back from injury, just how unfair the game is.
And she's going to play an attacking role here, taking over for Flanagan and lining up at left wing. I think
She's
Tony
played all over the
DeLuise,
pitch.
yeah, I think Tony DeLuise reads the situation here with 21 minutes to go, that there's going to be a lot of defending for Wake Forest to do. So bringing in a natural fullback at a winger position gives them a little bit more defensiveness.
Tough ball played, and falling down on anything, or the only thing Hodson could do was just knock it with her head.
Ellie
in front of the
Hodson
6.
has been very dangerous coming off the bench.
Taken away by Knapp. That was Sophie Faircloth going up against in that challenge. Restovich, formerly the #1 recruit by Top Drawer Soccer. A sophomore now. Trying to get her team another W. And they're tied here without Izzy Engle. Izzy Engle, who scored the only goal for Notre Dame on a world-class cutback with that touch that ball just stopped. I don't know if she put a backspin on it or not, but it was gorgeous. It went down on what looked to be a foot that was stepped on. Hopefully that she'll get back in action. But right now, trying to rest up. That's a dangerous spot for Chukwu.
And Wake Forest, you know, as good as Hodson has been in the attack, Wake Forest has really frustrated Chukwu.
Here's Wood. A good turn. Distributing over to the left side and inside the box. Couple of juggles there. The Deacs having to try to clear it, and we got a handball. All right, so Kyle, you see the clock where it is, under 20. I'm kind of wondering what Coach DeLuise is doing as far as personnel. He's got Burst over there on the right side. You're waiting, giving Maxwell a little bit of a rest, and then going to insert her in the last 15 or 10.
Yeah, I would assume that she's going to come back on pretty soon. I wonder if he'll just leave Faircloth in.
Scythe. Amaral, not exactly where she wants to play it, although Knapp had to turn around. Chukwu trying to make some space to fire a shot. Tough angle. That's a great tackle, Wake Forest.
Zadian,
using that momentum to move up the pitch. Taken immediately back by the Irish. Another curling ball by Codd. Let's take a look at this tackle, Kyle.
You have to be pinpoint with this, otherwise you're going to concede a penalty, and boom, stops the ball right at her feet.
The corner will be taken by number 13.
Pressure continues, though, for Notre Dame. It has been all Irish over the last 10 minutes, 15 maybe.
Still we sit 1-1. 17.5 to go. Here's a corner. Notre Dame trying to get back the lead, and Amaral on the ladder squeezes it. And we'll get everybody to clear out. $11 shots for Notre Dame, 7 for Wake Forest.
Hannah Johnson penalized for a foul in the air. Notre Dame has done an exceptional job on the long balls for Wake Forest in this second half. Deacs just cannot get out of their own area because Notre Dame's pressing high. They've had to go deep every time, and Wake Forest just can't win it. Deacs are sitting so deep.
Service ball lofted, and that will be a goal kick.
Into the game of
You're looking at the top
Forest,
25,
number
Kyle.
9, Elliana Ramirez, number 18,
It's looking
Allie
past the
Flanagan,
ACC.
and
You see a
number
Colorado
39,
team we saw here.
Lane
We thought they were really, really good. They're,
Notre Dame for
again,
Notre Dame,
ranked
number
22nd in the
23,
country,
Morgan
leading
Roy,
1-0 over
and
Arizona
number
right now.
27, Lily Joseph.
And just the bevy of superb talents up and down, of course, ACC, the dominant conference, but we've seen a lot of good teams in here in Surprise Stadium.
It's just how the ACC is, loaded.
So still no sight of Maxwell to this point. Just ticking under 15. Amaral credited with 4 saves, but it's been brilliant. More than just those 4 saves. Here's Joseph. A step over on Wrestler.
Corner kick upcoming for Notre Dame. Taking the corner, number 13, Lainey Matriano.
"14 minutes, a corner for Notre Dame. Score locked 1-1. Somehow stays in. This time going to the back door. Wrestler clears it away.
Great stop there by Amaral. I don't even know if you count that as a save, but she directs the ball out of the way of an attacker. I think that's going to land right at the feet of a Notre Dame player, possibly Chukwu. Yeah, right there. It's actually Klenke there, who was about to head it in, and Amaral just tips it away.
Matriano was able to settle that one, keep it in play. The senior. What a finale it would be if Wake Forest can find a way to knock off number 1. Under 13 to play. 1-1. Wake Forest nestling back again. Bracing for impact and hoping to shoot back up on a counter.
Yeah, there hasn't been many opportunities to do that this half, that is for sure. Notre Dame has kept on the pressure. We talk about cutting the pitch in half. That's kind of what's happened right now. Deacs trying to get some kind of an outlet on the long ball, but look how many players Notre Dame drops deep into midfield. So it's 2 on like 8 here, and so Wake Forest just can't get a touch on the ball in possession.
And they also miss Maxwell's speed over there on the flank. Wood. Ramirez.
Now there's nothing in that. Good no call.
Roy. Wrestler jockeying. The support there defensively by Scythe. Did Italia. That'll work in Wake Forest's favor. It's deflected off of Chukwu. As what Wake Forest has done against ranked opponents. Of course, they've been ranked themselves for 1-1. Kasich, the keeper for Notre Dame, part of that freshman class last season, actually got the job midway through last season. And has been the starter ever since. Notre Dame has definitely dominated here in this second half, but with 10.5 to go, the score still 1-1. The fire in the belly of this Wake Forest team continues to grow, and that confidence will continue to grow. Will give them that cockiness, if you will, that swag to possibly come up with a game-winning goal. Notre Dame having to work without their superstar Engle, but they've got plenty of superstars up and down this roster. Notre Dame hasn't really tried these long shots, too. I'm actually surprised. They've got some deep shooters. Ball sent. What a snatch there by Amaral. Again, that ball coming a little bit uncomfortably close to that side net.
Minutes left. Everything feels like it's in the balance. Notre Dame just unloading the entire kitchen sink on Wake Forest.
And we talk Restovich, who has gotten extended play in this match. And she's usually one of the starter or jumps off the bench. Top recruit in 2024. And she's got distance, number 24, something to keep an eye on. She hit a missile against Mississippi State last season in the NCAA tournament, and Chukwu can't quite turn on that one.
In a game for Wake Forest, number 20,
Anna Johnson coming in for Ramirez. .8:17 remaining.
Deacs getting the crowd into it, doing the Wake Forest chant from across the field. Love to see that. Little interaction from the players and the crowd.
Both teams keeping their tabs on that scoreboard and the clock. Notre Dame, of course, only one draw this season against Arkansas in their second match of the season. But since then, they have won all their matches to this point. A shove there, but right in the sight line of the official, immediately whistled. A preseason prediction for how the ACC would finish out with North Carolina number 1 and Notre Dame number 2. Obviously, that's not what the table says now. Although, yeah, Notre Dame's still number 2 right now. Although once the points add up, should be able to move right above Stanford. Stanford, of course, was the number 1 team last season. Coming to Spry, and the Deacs with an upset 1-0 over the Cardinal. First time Wake Forest has ever knocked off number 1. So important those points are. Notre Dame clearly has a spot at the ACC tournament table, but snagged again by Amaral. But if this game stays the same scoreline, they would be tied points-wise with Stanford at the top of the ACC with one match remaining. Good turn. Wood sends one across. Or sends one up ahead for Hannah Johnson. Too much. And off the line. And picked up. As Kasica. Free kick awarded to Wake Forest with 6 minutes remaining. Very seldom has the Deacs been able to get into that final third here in this second half. But still the game locked at 1. The Deacs gladly accepting the underdog role this season. They went from underdog last season to top dog. And one of the 4 College Cup teams got to the championship. Pretty much wipe that team off the whiteboard. New faces, new pieces. The coach Deleuze has been able to work his magic and get 10 wins in 2025 with 5 minutes remaining. Locked here with number 1 Notre Dame, 1-1. Notre Dame and tripped up, and that will be a free kick for Notre Dame, maybe even a card for Wrestler, and that is a card.
Yeah, I don't know why Lola Wrestler would commit that foul. There's not a ton of danger from that run. She's got her whole back line behind her to help out, including Sierra Scythe right there. It's not like you need to make a foul there to prevent the attack. It stops the clock. Notre Dame can be dangerous here from this set piece. Restovich standing over it.
She's been able to put in some nice service balls. 450, Restovich. Little backspin there. Hannah Johnson getting there. Heading it just outside of the 18, and a little step over by Klinke. Klinke trying to turn her body and send one into the box. And that will be a corner for Notre Dame.
Corner upcoming for Notre Dame. Taking the corner, number 13.
I believe that's just the 4th corner for Notre Dame. Wake Forest with 2. Miller knocking out.
Here's what's remarkable for Wake Forest. We said that Notre Dame got 6 shots right out of the gates in the second half. We mentioned that way earlier. Since then, 2 shots for Notre Dame. With all this pressure, they've owned almost the entire second half. And they've had 7 shots this second half to Wake Forest 1. But only 2 since really the opening, 10, 15 minutes of the half.
And they've doubled up on their opponent with shots. Can the freshman come through? Flanagan, left foot, blast, knocked away by the keeper, Kasica. Flanagan trying to get the laces on it. And now Notre Dame working their way up into their attacking third.
Oh, it's a huge opportunity for Wake Forest to win it. Now they have more defending to do.
Spit out. Amaral coming out off the woodwork. The woodwork comes through after Amaral off the line.
I think she got a touch to that to save it off the post. Drama here in this game. End-to-end stuff. Beautiful through ball. And she does. It's off her leg and then off the post.
Still in a dangerous spot, Amaral. Just on another
to Restovich, and then here
right
for
now.
Flanagan before it. Left foot. Oh, Can't get it by the goalkeeper. Both keepers coming up huge here in the final minutes.
Both teams on short rest, 2.5 remaining. The Deacon fans on their feet trying to give this Demon Deacon team another adrenaline rush to get back into the attacking third. Now it's Notre Dame again. Roy. Two minutes remaining. Clinky. Miller giving some space. Clinky sends one with a backspin inside the 18. Coming and arriving a little too much by Logan. Goes over and in. It'll be a Wake Forest goal kick. Gladly, Wake Forest will take that, will allow that.
And they will take their time with this, no question about it. I wouldn't be stunned to see Amaral even take a yellow card for time wasting at some point.
Under 90.
I know the Deacs are in kill clock mode, but you can do that by possessing the ball. Don't have to just boot it as far away from an opponent as you can. We've seen that they can even potentially get something on the break.
60 seconds remaining. Notre Dame trying to not get another draw this season. Only one draw, all the rest wins. The Deacons trying to repeat history by knocking off number one. Right now, tied 1-1. Scythe got slipped up. Chokwu wrestled away. Scythe sends it up to the corner.
She fell and still managed to get ahead to that.
Under 30. Laid it on the deck. Notre Dame still threatening. And a free kick awarded to Wake Forest. 14, now 13 seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
A match
4,
full of guts,
3, 2, 1, 0.
trauma,
Your final
passion.
score, Wake Forest 1.
Maybe not quite the knockoff of number one, but drawing even with a Notre Dame team